Hi. In this video, we will talk about the similarities and differences between Colorado Springs and Denver, 60 miles apart on I-25. And if you're interested in this, you know, every week we put out a new video about Colorado Springs, living here, moving here. So if you want to find out more, be sure and hit the subscribe button and hit that little bell so you're notified every week when a new video is put out for you. And you know, we get so many people moving here. We really love to answer your questions. So send me a voicemail or a call or a text, email. We'd love to help you out and answer your questions. So the first thing about Colorado Springs and Denver that we want to talk about is the relative sizes. Denver is much bigger. It's 2.8 million in the metro area is compared to about 740,000 in the metro region for Colorado Springs. So about 3 times bigger than Colorado Springs and much more dense as well. However, Colorado Springs is much closer to the mountains as a rule. And so we enjoy getting to our better views of the mountains up close and really good access to the mountains as well. So we have trails up in the foothills we like to get to. We like to get to Garden of the Gods for trails and just walking and through the beauty. If you're going to be leaving town and going into the mountains by car, each city has a different way to get out. Denver is serviced by I-70, which is a huge highway that gets totally packed up at times, especially at the beginning and the end of each ski weekend in the wintertime. So that can be a problem. Give yourself extra time if you're going from Denver to Vail or somewhere. You can do the same trip from Colorado Springs on a much quieter Highway 24, which has beautiful views out over South Park. You get up over Hoosier Pass and then you're at Breckenridge and all the ski areas are right at your feet there. So big difference on getting out of town. I never go to Denver to get on I-70. I just always take I-20 or Highway 24 going out to the mountains. Another big difference is the sports. Denver has 4 major league teams. One, the Broncos. Yes, I'm a big fan. And we've got the Colorado Rockies baseball team, the Colorado Avalanche hockey, and the Denver Nuggets for basketball. Colorado Springs has none of the above. We do have a professional soccer team, the Switchbacks Football Club, and we've got Division I hockey at Colorado College. It draws a big fan base as well, especially when they are playing well. And of course, we can't forget the Air Force Academy Falcons, whose football team packs in their stadium especially when they're playing Army or Navy. But they are a top football program and they're often in bowls. So that's a big draw for sporting fans in Colorado Springs as well. Actually, they come down from Denver for these games. So there are different venues to see the sporting events and music events and so on in the 2 cities. In Denver, of course, you've got Red Rocks, a world famous outdoor venue for concerts. And people come from all over the country, all over the world actually, just to come to Red Rocks to see a concert. It's that famous and that worthwhile. We also have Mile High Stadium, home of the Broncos. We've got Coors Field, a beautiful baseball stadium for the Colorado Rockies. And then there's Pepsi Center that hosts both the Avalanche and the Nuggets. In Colorado Springs, we have the World Arena, which seats about 7,700. And that's where Colorado College has been playing hockey. They're about to build a new Robeson Arena on Colorado College campus that will seat about 3,400. And that will be for hockey, and they'll have other events in there as well. We also have in Colorado Springs, opening up at the end of July 2020, we'll open up the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Museum. It's a spectacular building. I've taken a hard hat tour through it, and it's going to be just incredible. They're expecting to draw 350,000 people from outside the region just to come view that place. The Switchbacks are also building soccer field and arena nearby They'll both be in Southwest Denver or Southwest Colorado Springs near the downtown area. That will hold about 8,000 for soccer and about 15,000 for concerts if they fill up the main field there. And finally, we have the Air Force Falcon Stadium. It's on the grounds of the Air Force Academy. It seats about 47,000. It's used mostly for their football games, but they also have other events in there as well. Once you're in town, how do you get around? Well, Denver does have us beat there as far as ease of covering such a large area. They've got the light rail system up there with over 100 miles of track. It goes clear down south along I-25. It goes out to Golden, it goes up to Boulder, and it goes out to DIA, Denver International Airport. And it's all centered around the iconic railway station that's been there for over 100 years in downtown Denver. So that's a beautiful spot. And Union Station is the home of Amtrak. So if you want to take a train to San Francisco or Chicago, that's your place to go. The airports vary considerably. Denver is huge. It's far out of town. It's a long way from Colorado Springs if you live here and need to take a flight out of DIA. But it's been ranked the #1 airport in the United States 2 years in a row by travelers who are polled along the way. And it's second only in North America to Vancouver's airport. So a highly rated airport, and it's just a beautiful facility. You can get there by train if you're in Denver. You can take the A line out there. In Colorado Springs, on the other hand, we have a beautiful, small, easy to get in and out of airport, the Colorado Springs Airport, but there's direct flights to only 10 cities in the United States, including Denver. So if you're going to Dallas or Houston or Phoenix or LA, you might want to fly out of Colorado Springs if you live here. If you're flying to New York or London and you want a nonstop, you better go fight the traffic up to DIA and take it out of there. That'll be the best way to go. In Colorado Springs, as opposed to the light rail, we have a bus system, which is good for a lot of people who need to get around, but it's not as comprehensive or as easy to use or as wide a coverage as the light rail in Denver. But we do have a bus system down here. The last thing that I wanted to tell you about was the getting in between the two cities on I-25. Right now we have a big project going on. It's the largest transportation project in Colorado right now. It's called the I25 Gap project. It goes from Monument, which is north of Colorado Springs, all the way up to Castle Rock. It's an 18-mile stretch that they're expanding from 2 lanes to 3. It will be finished in early 2022. In the meantime, it's slow. They've got a maximum speed of 60, which they electronically slow down if they need to. There's sections in there with no passing and skinny lanes with barriers on both sides and kind of winding back and forth. It can be a little hair-raising, especially in bad weather. If you want to bypass that, you can take roads, Highway 105 to the west through the foothills. It's a beautiful road. It doesn't take you that much longer to get from Colorado Springs to Castle Rock. Or you can go east of I-25 and get on Highway 83, go up through Franktown and Parker and get into southeast Denver that way. So that's what you need to know about that. You know, as I mentioned, we do a new video about Colorado Springs every week. So be sure and hit the subscribe button. Here's a couple of other videos for you to check out right now if you're interested in that stuff. And again, we'd love to take your call. So here's my contact information. You can email me, text me, call me, leave a voicemail, and I'd love to help you out. Take care and happy trails. Bye.